Hello, my name is Wendy. I am a yoga teacher and I've been teaching since 2012. I studied under a man named Gary Olson at the ashram in Seattle, Washington, and he still has a studio. But I have since moved all the way to Texas, so now I practice and teach here. I also do breath work and coaching, as well as some other intuitive techniques to help people work through emotions, get their bodies moving, release trauma, those kinds of things. But today I'm going to focus on some yoga, and we'll do just some easy warm-ups, a little bit of flow, and then maybe some fancy stuff too. Just come into a comfortable seated position, sitting up nice and tall. If you'd like, you can place a block underneath your bottom and then cross your legs. If that's uncomfortable, you can stretch your legs out in front of you. Take your hands into your lap, palms up or down, you can choose. And then just press the sits bones into the floor. Lift up through the crown of the head and gently tuck your chin back towards your throat. You can close your eyes or cast your gaze down at your mat. And start to tune into your breathing, just noticing your inhales and your exhales without any sort of judgment about what it means if the breath is shallow or deep. Just notice what's happening with the breath. Pay attention to it. See where it goes, how long it stays. And then starting with an exhale through your nose. Begin to inhale through your nose, pulling the breath deep down into the belly and the lower back, expanding laterally out to the sides. And then exhale through your nose and let it go. This time as you inhale, drag the breath across the back of your throat, create a little bit of constriction, vibration, and sound in your throat. And then same thing on the exhale. Imagine you have a mirror in front of your nose and you want to fog it up. And then adding on, take an inhale, fill low belly, low back, expand laterally, slide up the torso into your rib cage, and exhale, let it go. And one more like that. Inhale, low belly, low back, expand laterally, slide up into your rib cage, into your upper back, and then finally into your chest. And let it go. And then gently begin to flutter your eyes open. Just finding a soft gaze ahead of you. You can flip the palms down. And we'll just take some circles with the torso. So as you inhale, reach your chest forward. Bring yourself over to the right. Drop it back. Go over to the left. Making big circles with your rib cage around your pelvis. And really exaggerate it. So if you want to allow your neck and your shoulders to get into the mix, go for it. Taking 2 more revolutions in this direction. And when you finish, just switch out and go the other way. Again, make it dramatic. Allowing your body to move in any way that it likes. Adding movement if that feels good. 2 more in this direction. And then just come back to a center position. Inhale your arms up over your head. And then as you exhale, twist to your left, taking your right hand to your left knee. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, look over your right shoulder and twist. Do that. Inhale, bring the arms up, and then exhale, twist in the opposite direction. Make sure you inhale, lengthen before you exhale, twist looking over the opposite shoulder. And then inhale, come back up to center. Go ahead and cactus your arms, sliding the shoulder blades down the spine. Look up, little tiny backward bends. And then inhale, reach up, just bring your hands through heart space, and we will start really warming up. So go ahead and take your hands out in front of you, working your way into an all fours position. Fingers are spread really wide. Make sure that the fingertips, pads of the fingers, are gently pulling back towards the palm. And then you want to make sure that the base knuckle of every single finger, including this J shape in the hand, presses down into the floor. Then without moving the hands, gently pull your hands away from each other, feeling the lat muscles engage. a little bit around in the spine between the shoulder blades. And then we energetically pull the knees towards each other. Fire up the inner thighs, pelvic floor, and abdominal wall. Starting with a little bit of cat and cow. On your exhale, push the floor away from you, round your spine. Pubic bone to navel, chin to chest, look at your belly button. And then inhale, drop your belly. Let the tail and the chest rise and look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, round. Inhale, open up. Make your breath really audible. And exhale, round it. One more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Bring yourself back to a neutral position. Go ahead and bring the toes together and open up the knees almost all the way to the edges of the mat. Bring your left hand to the center and reach your right arm straight up. Look up to the tip of your right thumb. And then just start to take some circles, bringing the arm forward and then the opposite direction. So we're just warming up here for 3, 2, on the 1, reach the arm up, take an inhale, and then as you exhale, thread the right arm underneath. Let your right ear come down on the floor. You can take the left arm, reach it behind the back, find the opposite hip crease if you like, or just stretch your left arm forward, bird caging the hand. Stay here for just a moment. Open up the back of the right shoulder, behind the shoulder blade and the front of the right shoulder. And then slide the hand back under the face. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, replace your right hand or your left hand with your right, and then reach your left arm up. Try to gaze to the tip of your left thumb, and then make circles forward 3 times. 2, and 1. And then go the other way. Notice if you have any pops in your shoulder like I do. On the last one, just reach up, take a big inhale, and then exhale, thread it through. Left shoulder, left ear come down. Again, the right arm can reach behind. Maybe you grab the opposite hip crease, or maybe you want to reach your right arm forward, bird cage the hand, and open up the right side body. Now slide the right hand back. Inhale your left arm up, reach. Exhale, come back to all fours. Bring the knees back to hip distance. Tuck your toes and just hover your knees for a moment, pressing the floor away from you energetically without moving the hands. Gently pull them away from each other. And then think about energetically pulling the inner thighs towards each other. Belly button pulling in, tummy stays nice and tight. 3 breaths here. Three breaths feels like a long time right here. Now push your chest to your thighs and lift your hips up, coming into a downward facing dog, making an upside down V shape with the body. Lift your sits bones up towards the sky as you reach your heels down towards the mat, and they may or may not touch. Keep the fingers spread really wide, grip with the pads of the fingers. And then see if you can open up the upper back a little bit. Thinking about sliding the shoulders down a little bit, rotating the biceps forward, and spinning the lower arm bones back. And then keep pushing the weight back, but lift your heels up as high as you can, coming up onto the tips of the toes, and then lower them down. Keep that going. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Just stretching the arches of the feet, getting into the calf muscles. For 3, 2, and 1. Bring the left foot to center. Lock your right leg and then reach it back. This is more about length than it is about height. Think about taking the right hip down and sending the left sit bone back. So that way you can reach back, keeping the hips square. Now bend your right knee, heel towards glute, and then open the hip. Reach your right toes toward your left shoulder. Maybe look underneath the left armpit. See if you can find the toes. And make sure the right shoulder stays rotated down. Inhale, straighten the legs, square the hips. Return the right foot to the left. Pedal the feet if it feels good. And then lock your left leg and reach it back. Again, go for length more than height. Imagine that you could squeeze the muscle more firmly onto the bone. And the tighter you squeeze, the lighter you get. Reach back. Right sitting bone reaches back as well. Left hip rotated down. Bend your left knee, heel to glute. Open the hip. Reaching left toes towards right shoulder. Maybe you look underneath the right armpit. Find the toes. Inhale, straighten the legs, square the hips. Lunge your left foot up to the top of the mat. Right foot comes up to meet. Feet hip distance. Hold your opposite elbows or tuck your fingers into the crooks of your elbows and just dangle. Head hangs heavy. You can put a generous bend in your knees here if you like. Sway side to side, rock forward and back. Maybe shake your head no and nod your head yes. Come on back to center. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, let the hands float down to the floor. Everything hanging heavy here. Shift the weight forward toward the balls of the feet. Pull the pelvic floor and abdominal wall in as you slowly curl your body up. One vertebra at a time, coming up bone by bone, letting arms and head hang heavy until the very last moment. And when you reach the top, bring your feet together, toes, heels touch. Stand up nice and tall. As you push your feet down into the floor, notice that the leg muscles start to engage. Inhale, reach the arms out, back and up. And then exhale, come down with a long, flat spine to a fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, put your hands on the floor. Step yourself back into a high plank, top of a push-up. Again, the hands gently pull away from each other. Shift the weight forward toward the towards the toes and lower halfway. Stop right here. Try not to let your shoulders dip below your elbows. Inhale, scoot the chest forward. Tops of feet, thighs lift, shoulders back. And then exhale, roll over your toes and come back to a downward facing dog. So that is a basic warm-up. I'll come onto my knees and give you a break. And if you notice when I'm in my high plank, you try to keep everything from kneecaps to chest engaged. And as you shift forward and lower, the shoulders are way over the wrists. Hope you enjoyed your warm-up. Namaste.